Thunder! Thunder! ThunderCats! Ho! Welcome, ThunderCats fans, to another episode of the ThunderCats Reviews here on the Radical Retro Rewind podcast. As always, I am your host, Radical Ryan Hunter, and I am joined by everyone's favorite brother, David, as we review another episode of the classic ThunderCats series from 1985.
And our first one of the year.
The first one. So, spoiler everybody, we recorded the last bunch of ThunderCats episodes, I want to say a year ago. Matter of fact, I'm still listening to them, and it's so crazy now that we're actually caught up and we're recording new episodes. So, for anyone behind the scenes magic, those ThunderCats episodes were recorded in abundance all at once, and now we're finally recording new episodes again.
Fresh.
And it doesn't get any fresher than this, David, as today we return to Thundera, which was aired on October 4th of 1985, and is episode 20 of season 1. And as always, thank you to the ThunderCats Wikipedia for the synopsis and trivia we will be using in case we forget what the hell happened. Without further ado, David.
Dun 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 dun. We're returning to Thundera, or as I'm calling this episode, reliving childhood trauma.
Oh my god, okay. Let's see if it lives up to that, because honestly, this is one of the best starts of an episode ever for me. This gave me all the right Mumm-Ra mutant feels. We start deep inside Castle Plun-Darrian, David, where the mutants are showing off their latest creation, the Plun-Darrian Warbot to Mumm-Ra.
First, it opens up with Monkey and saying, make way for
King Slithe, or something like that. Lord Slithe.
And his unholy guest, Mumm-Ra, whatever it is.
In the middle of the night, David, and Mumm-Ra is effing pissed. Mumm-Ra is pissed off. He's like, you got me out of the middle of the night for this?
Make way for Lord Slithe and his high evilness, Mumm-Ra. This had better be important, Slithe, to summon me here in the dead of night.
It is important. Most important.
Mumm-Ra's being a Karen. I put, waking me up at night? Your dog was barking again. I'm calling the HOA.
You didn't silence Jackalman?
No, it's after 10 o'clock.
I was gonna say, was it a slow night out there at Castle Plun-Darrian?
What I want to know is why Mumm-Ra is inconvenienced in any way. He's thousands of years old, that he finds it inconvenient to step out of his pyramid unless he's not fully charged, but I think he is because he hasn't been around in a bit.
Yeah.
That he can go out and just chill out. He's in his mummy form, so he's not even
using power,
exerting anything. That he finds it inconvenient to walk over to Castle Plun-Darrian. Like, this is a problem for him. What else do you have to do
in the dead of night
besides watch the ThunderCats at the pool? What else do you have to do? This is such a bad thing.
Maybe he actually does sleep at night, maybe because he does have to watch the ThunderCats during the day. He's like, I have to make sure I'm up enough for Chitara's 5 o'clock run. You know, she gets up early. She might cook something interesting this morning.
Is she looking for gold again?
Oh my god. He don't want to miss it. This is like, what's that thing with Julie Chen hosts? Big Brother. He's watching the Big Brother all-night stream. He's paying the extra money to watch it all 24 hours a day, the camera. So he is inconvenienced at night. So they're out there and they want to show Mumm-Ra this giant robot.
Yeah.
Hey, the Black Obelisk! What is it?
The Warbot, Mumm-Ra, the most awesome invention of Plun-Darrian science. There was no time to build it back on Plunder, but here on Third Earth, it stands complete, ready to destroy those accursed ThunderCats in their very lair.
I see. But what can it do that my powers cannot?
A demonstration? My pleasure.
I put She-Ra Warbot. That's
Okay, did you get She-Ra, whatever the hell those Manchine people for fighting in the Christmas special? But also, I got very Star Wars Empire Strikes Back. You could either call them AT-ATs or AT-ATs, those things with the legs, the 4 legs.
I also thought that the legs were kind of thick. They were kind of thick.
And it had a spiked penis?
Oh, I didn't see the spiked penis.
At the bottom of it was perfectly anchored was a spike in between its legs. I think it was supposed to be in the center, but from the perspective of the front, it was a spiked penis. But Mumm-Ra is not impressed, David.
He's like, what can this do that I cannot do? The supreme Mumm-Ra that I am.
This can't turn into a woman and pretend to be something.
I see no nether witch here. I see no Silky. I see no transformations.
Matter of fact, oh my god, we'll get to it later, but when Mumm-Ra rants his way out of the place, screaming about technology, oh my god. Sly assures him that the robot is a lot more deadly than it seems in his arsenal, and he instructs the robot to head to Cat's Lair.
But wait, he also shoots
5 days because it was the slowest effing.
It also shoots some kind of goo and turns like this poor little critter into stone. And Mumm-Ra's like, it's gonna take more than that.
Delightful. But you will need more than making Frog Dog into a statue to defeat those feline heroes.
Rest assured, your high horribleness, its arsenal of weapons will bring us the final triumph over Lion-O and his loyal ThunderCats.
Because I was going to say the same thing. Mumm-Ra could turn people to stone too, I would imagine, if he wanted to.
I'm surprised he didn't say, look, I could do it now! Meanwhile, at Cat's Lair, the ThunderCats are inspecting the time capsule that they had recovered from the caveman.
The time capsule! To think it came all the way from Thundera, our home planet!
Aside from us, it's all that's left of our beloved Thundera.
The Thundera I hardly knew. How does it work, Panthro?
It's a hologram, a perfect model of Thundera.
And they give you the exposition of Lion-O talking to himself, saying, I wrestled that caveman for this time capsule, so I should be able to touch it at least, or look at it. So when he switches it on, David, he is standing right in the path of the projector, and it results in somehow him getting transported back in time and space to Thundera just before the planet's destruction. So I have a question for you, David. Why did it have to be at that exact same time of the planet being destroyed? Was it A, to remind possibly new viewers that the planet was destroyed, or was it just because to add to the drama of it?
I feel like it's because Lion-O romances in his mind how amazing Thundera is. He feels lonely because he never got to be there. He just remembers certain memories. Jaga says to him, you know, you're back. He actually tells him, you're back on Third Earth, but it might not be the way you remember it.
Think, Lion-O.
Here's the thing. My question is, other than the castle, the kingdom with the ThunderCats, the place looks like a shithole. Excuse my language.
It looked like crap.
But is it because the planet is breaking apart?
But it did look like Mars, didn't it? Look like a red,
it was just beat up.
Planet.
It wasn't anything. Third Earth at least has forests and some pretty. But I guess the whole point is to make it very raw. So that's to answer your question. That's what I think about that.
And Third Earth we thought was the only place that had crazy things, but no, Thundera has a giant earwig creature that attacks Lion-O as soon as he gets there. So you know what? I guess this is what you do when you in the future. You gotta battle.
This is when you don't live on First Earth or Second Earth like we are right now. Be happy with what you have. Huge earwig might eat you.
The approaching Warbot is detected by Cat's Lair scanners, and the ThunderCats all gather in the control room, alarmed at the sight of the approaching behemoth, and at the same time wondering where Lion-O is.
Oh, I have Tiger's like, where is that damn Lion-O? He gets mad, like, why is he gone? Like, can he not take a piss?
Tigra!
Lion-O! Where is he? He abandoned his post.
He wouldn't have done that. Something must have happened to him.
Yeah, but didn't Tara say he would never leave us? You know Chitara's always up to defend her lord.
She as if she really loves him. She has a love for him.
I mean, they all do, but yeah, Tigra, did you really think Lion-O would abandon you?
Yeah, like, that's kind of...
He's abandoned us!
Go eat another piece of fruit.
Maybe that's what had happened. He don't know what's going on. He had candy fruit last night. Panthro fires lasers at the Warbot, but it sends the rays back, causing the cat's eyes to shatter. Panthro then employs... No, this was the best part. I swear he said... I mean, it's called the ballista? He said everything but. Batista. I'm the ballista. Ballisto.
We've got to act fast. Let's give that big buster a taste of the ballista.
This is the catapult kind of thing that I heard Batista.
John Batista?
Yeah, taste the Batista, whatever the hell this is, the ballista. The ballista.
The ballista.
He also said he shot fire and ice at him.
You like that? Fire and ice. It's like silver and gold. You're getting both. Chitara's gold. Back in Thundera, Lion-O is approaching the kingdom and he is confronted by 2 guards, David. Oh my god. These guards are something else too.
That's another thing, like, they're not very nice people. My point is...
I thought they would be too, yeah.
Like the code of Thundera and everything, but no, apparently not.
With that voice, who I think also, again, here's Earl Hammond. Panthro doing another voice.
I have something for you.
Haven't I seen that on Lord Jagger?
Who comes?
Lion-O, Lord of the ThunderCats.
Lion-O? Any fool knows old Claudus is Lord of Thundera.
I am his son. Let me pass.
His son is but a boy.
Take him!
I have little time. Let me pass, or I shall use my sword.
Sword against ray pistols? This Plun-Darrian is mad!
Wait! Have I not seen that very blade carried by wise Jaga?
You have. It is the Sword of Omens. Now let me pass.
Lion-O convinces the 2 guards that he is in fact Lord Claudus's son, or knows at least of them, because they're like, Lion-O's
because he's wielding the sword of Jaga. So
Jaga?
yeah.
So they allow him in, but he's like, don't worry, you're gonna be dead anyway because the planet's exploding. So you're gonna go in, but you ain't ever leaving. That's what they said.
Mm-hmm.
But he is confronted, David, by Snow Meow. Lion-O it's not Snow Meow. It's another saber-toothed cat. This is Kano, Lion-O's old pet and his father's, companion.
I just have Kano monkey noise. Does he make does Monkey do his voice?
It was like a monkey barking. It was a weird thing for a cat saber-tooth. Also, cat people have cats as pets. So this proves that ThunderCats are really evolved cats, because there are cat-like beings on Thundera that are feline-esque, but
well, thank God they're not the cats from the movie Cats. The movie adaptation of Cats the Musical.
Okay, now the saber-toothed cat leads him to his father Claudus. Then we see Slythe and Vultureman trying to force Claudus to give them the plans of the Warbot.
So Princess Leia fighting...
Yes, exactly. She's got the plans for the Death Star. We got time restraints.
I have placed information vital to the survival of the rebellion into the memory systems of this R2 unit.
And we got Vultureman added in retroactively to, again, remind you that
he does
was
exist.
Always here.
The Mandela effect, the Vultureman
effect. Yeah, exactly. You thought he wasn't there, but guess what? Vultureman was looking for those plans even then. Claudus is blind. Lion-O's father is blind.
He was blinded by something, but didn't they explain it?
Well, we also know in the future there's another blind Thunderian that comes out, So
the thing is that he sees Claudus being attacked. He fights off the mutants. That Linus says, "You're my father," and he says he can't be because my son is small, young and whatever. But he says, "I hope my son will turn out to be as brave or whatever man as you."
Who are you? I am Lion-O, your son.
You cannot be. Lion-O is a mere boy.
You are a grown warrior. Claudus, Thundera is doomed. You must leave.
I cannot leave. Jaga's ship is on the launch pad. It will take my son and the ThunderCat nobles to safety. But its gyro stabilizer is faulty, and I must boost their guidance system from here.
That was really wonderful.
This is I said this. He meets his dad. It's sad. That's what I put. It's so sad. Because it is. It's honestly, again, that's why I said reliving childhood trauma, because he knows he has to lose his father again. And knowing that he's physically there when it's really happening again, he's like back in time. He couldn't save him because he would have never made it to Third Earth because the father had to guide the ship because there was something damaged on the ship. Do you get the feeling that the ThunderCats technology is not so great?
I was going to say, so Jaga had to do the same thing, so one will always die in the team.
Well, no, have you noticed that the mutants have better weapons, but they're just stupid about the way they use them, and because they're not united? I feel like ThunderCats have their technology is not quite as advanced as the mutants.
They're more of warriors, physical warriors.
Yeah, they're not as advanced because Cats Lair has been damaged so many times where Castle Plun-Darrian is not taken.
I mean, let's face it, the Burbles built it. I mean, it might have been Tigra's.
The episode goes on with the robot ripping the head off.
Actually, Cats Lair has a lot of defenses. It had chains. It had a lot of things. But then the bot also has these chains, and he sends out 4 of them that clips onto stone, Panthro says. These chains stick to stone, and they rip the head off, but he tries to get the ThunderCats to release
and they all get zapped. But here's the thing. Did you notice, this is some little subtlety. I don't know if people would be interested in that, but if you notice when the head falls down, they pan to it, or they show you at some point, and you can see where it's all metal, pieces of little, scraps of square metal where it's all hammered together. So they did take it from their ship.
Yes, it's like one of those things when you see a close-up of like Ren and Stimpy and you see like the horror of it up close.
But that shows you that that's not one smooth continuous piece. No. It's all riveted together, it's all put together, which also maybe is more vulnerable, where I feel like...
The are like, this is what we have to use? Okay.
Yeah.
So then, Lion-O does have that moment with his father, and I kept thinking Lion-O's father, Claudius, must think this man is crazy. He's like, I'm not your father. He keeps saying, father. And he's like, okay. But he does say, I hope my son, grows up to be something like that. And he says this, another place, another time, perhaps they'll meet. I liked that. Although it set it up that there was possibly going to be see Claudius again, which I don't believe we do.
I thank you for your help. May my son, Lion-O, grow up to be as brave and noble as you, and carry on the sacred code of Thundera. Justice, truth, honor, loyalty. The tremors grow worse. Go, while you still can.
I will say, though, David, another note, ThunderCats Raw, the reboot did have Claudius in it, escaping Thundera in that pod, but in fashion of they made him a deadbeat father to Lion-O, because of course he was a male lead in the 80s cartoon, so you must be a deadbeat and a horrible father. He was a terrible person, selfish. They made him a selfish king who escaped Third Earth to save his life. You like that? What a difference! What a difference between the 80s and now. The man sacrificed his life in one, and I hate to say it, our woke 80s sucks that they have right now. He's a deadbeat father who left Lion-O on purpose. Take that as a crumb of thought from today's episode. What are we saying to today's youth?
Did we discuss this? Because this is an interesting thing that I either heard or read, that the reason why Third Earth blew up was because Jaga took the swords from Rotaro and threw them into a volcano. Is that correct?
that was in that thing too, that remake. Rotaros, who will be one of our future creatures. Anyway, though, so at the Cat's Lair, the Warbot fires huge chains which attaches themselves to the Cat's Lair head and pulls the entire head from the fortress. The robot then jumps into the lair and fires a gray substance at the ThunderCats, which turns them all into statues. At that instant, Lion-O arrives back at the lair and uses the Sword of Omens. David, I want power beyond power. Lion-O calls for power beyond power to defy. He's like, nope, I got this. Power beyond power, Sword of Omens.
Stand back!
Lion-O, the robot feeds on energy. Sends it back at you.
Not this time. Sword of Omens, give me power beyond power.
So again,
that's like when She-Ra, when she calls power of Etheria, come to She-Ra.
All Etheria,
come to She-Ra.
Power of all Etheria, come to She-Ra.
Where are they getting this power from? She-Ra gets her power from Castle Grayskull.
She said, and I quote it, "Power of all Etheria, come to She-Ra."
But where are they getting this power from? Where are they getting the power from? It's always
It's just like anything else. Money attracts money.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's like when your father is rich and you get your own prepaid podcast, not ours, and everything is handed to you and advertisements, and you make millions because your daddy and mommy are movie stars.
Oh yes, you're right. Or you're an actress or an actor, and you decide to make a podcast too. Leave it for the rest of. Oh, sorry.
Come to She-Ra!
Come to She-Ra! So, Sword of Omens did power beyond power, and in that instant, Lion-O
propels back or pushes back the robot, but he has to go out.
He then turns the sword on the robot and pushes it away from the Cat's Lair, right? And then he shoots out of the lair using the ballista.
The ballista!
John Batista.
Ready the ballista!
He lands near the Warbot's feet. As the robot raises its giant's foot to crush Lion-O, the young lord inserts his sword into the small red disc on the Warbot's foot. This causes the robot's foot to explode, and the entire robot gets destroyed, David. And this is when Mumm-Ra screams. I actually love this. You bungler! You bungler! You're a bungler! To slide.
It cannot, must not be! But it is Slide! You bungler!
You bungler! And he screams about magic and like literally rants his way outside of the Castle Plun-Darrian.
Only I, Mumm-Ra, ever-living source of evil, will defeat the Thundercats, because only I have real power, magical, mystical power!
Your reception is not the same as my pool of darkness. How dare you make me use your Wi-Fi?
That's what he said. My Wi-Fi from Cats Lair has been working superior. He rants out, magical, musical, mystical powers will destroy the Thundercats. He didn't add the musical, but it was a lot of M's and literally screaming, and then he just
losing his. Now here's the best part. Why does he get upset when people attempt to take out the Thundercats? Like, wouldn't you be like that? You failed. Like you could like at least rub it in that they failed because they were so confident. But why would you get enraged about it? Like again,
because he knows because he knows he don't want them dead. He wants them himself, so
he wants to just play with them, and he gives his life meaning.
You bungler! That's my new thing, David. I want to use that for the rest of eternity.
You bungler!
You're a bungler! You're a bungler! So, David, the moral of today's story this week was, no one can change history. We can only learn from it, which is what Panthro says. I agree, and if you erase history by burning books, how could we ever learn from the past?
Oh, it's very dramatic.
Well, I just added the burning books in. Lord Lion-O will call upon power beyond power. Man, we gotta figure out how they harness these powers.
Come to David!
David summons power beyond power!
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
I gotta say, I think this is one of really a highlight. Honestly, if I just got the opening with Mumm-Ra and the Mutants and the ending with Mumm-Ra and the Mutants and the bungler and the screaming about getting him out of bed at midnight, that's all I needed. But everything else actually made it even better too. Love it, David, love it. What do you think about Return to Thundera?
I thought it was a good episode. I think that it helped Lion-O go through the fact that, you know, everything happens for a reason, I guess, and he was able to reunite with his father, and he actually was able to inadvertently let his father see the man that he became.
Yes! Another time, another space. It's almost like they knew, inadvertently, like mystically, maybe the father knew that somehow that the Sword of Omens had... I don't know. I mean, I guess he didn't, but that whole thing with time and space was like a little like, okay, it's deep.
Another time, another place? Is that what he said?
I thought it said another time, another base, or something like that. Another time, another... But I could be wrong. We know who wasn't bunglers today. It was Lion-O. He didn't bungle anything.
This whole mystical thing that you can go into...
Mystical, magical, mystical machine.
Mr. Mistopheles, yeah.
Mr. Mistopheles, I couldn't think of that. I was trying to think of Mr. Mistopheles. All in all, a fantastic episode. You could always reach David at Universal Appeal 2020, all one word, on Instagram, as well as the Radical Retro Rewind podcast, all one word. Next episode after this is Dr. Dome Tome.
Listen, he's a gentleman and a scholar, and he likes things plugged.
Look forward to that episode. Spoiler, we think it's probably going to be a short one. We're sorry. It's just one of those ThunderCats episodes that honestly could be missed, but we won't. We're dedicated to doing every episode here on this podcast, so...
Even though you don't even know what the show's about after us talking.
No!
It doesn't matter.
Even though we're bunglers.
I've bungled my way through life, and I'll keep on bungling.
Thank you, Mumm-Ra. So we'll see you next time, ThunderCats fans. Ho!
Who you calling a hoe?
The ballista!
You bungler!